Good day everyone, and welcome back to Adventures with Parker. I want to take you back in time for just a moment. Back to March 6th, 2017. That was the day I uploaded my very first video to YouTube. It wasn't much, it was just a few clips and videos I had thrown together in Windows Movie Maker. Yeah, that's right, I used Windows Movie Maker for all of my original videos. And what I had created was something that would essentially set the tone for what was to come. Although, to be honest, I don't even think I knew what that was at the time. I had just decided to jump into this whole YouTube thing with 2 feet and with an open mind, and 4 years later, look at where we are. Look at all of the adventures we've been on and everything we've been able to accomplish. It's crazy, and honestly, I have to thank you guys for it. I would not still be here if it wasn't for all of your support and encouragement, so thank you. I appreciate it so much. Now today, to celebrate our 4-year anniversary as a channel, I'm going to do a bit of Q&A. Over the past few days, I've asked for some questions on my social media accounts, and today, I'm going to provide the answers you most seek. I got some wonderful question submissions, and I'm really excited to get into these and answer them. So, without any further ado, let the 4-year anniversary adventures begin! Okay, let's just jump into it, shall we? Our first question comes from CatCatK on Instagram, and she asks, what was the first park you ever visited? I think that was Canada's Wonderland. I'm not 100% sure, but I did go to Canada's Wonderland a lot growing up, and really that was the park that just sparked my love for theme parks and made me the coaster enthusiast that I am today. Now if it wasn't Wonderland, it might have been Marineland in Niagara Falls, because I do remember visiting there when I was really young, but again, I've been going to theme parks forever, so it's hard to remember exactly which one it was, but I live close to both Wonderland and Niagara Falls. They were pretty much equal distance from my house, so it was definitely one of the two. Our next question comes from Cinnamon on Instagram, who asks, have you been to Cedar Point? If so, what's your favorite ride there? No, I have not been to Cedar Point yet. I was supposed to go last summer, but then COVID got in the way. But right now my plan is to go at the end of August, towards the end of summer, assuming I'm vaccinated and cases aren't too bad. Now as far as rides I'm most looking forward to, obviously Steel Vengeance is at the top of my list. A lot of people say that that is the best roller coaster in the world, so obviously I'm pretty hyped to experience it for myself. Plus it's going to be my first RMC coaster. It's really exciting to finally experience one for myself. I'll also say that I'm really looking forward to riding Maverick. That ride looks like a lot of fun, and again, I've heard a lot of great things about it. Okay, so Corey, who you can find on Twitter as @CoreyOnTheRadio, asks, what is your favorite podcast and why is it Theme Park Pulse? Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Corey is the head producer on the Theme Park Pulse podcast. I mean, honestly, it is my favorite podcast, I think. If it's not my absolute favorite, it's definitely in my top 5. And why? Well, okay, I would have to say just the team behind the podcast. They are just all so much fun to listen to, and actually I was on the podcast recently. I will leave a link to that episode down below. But yeah, just even interacting with them in real life, they are just a really fun group. On top of that, they talk about theme park news and all the latest happenings in the industry like every other podcast out there does. But the way they do it is just so fresh and original and so fun. I mean, recently they've been doing this format that they call Theme Park Pulse the Game, which is a game show where anyone can hop in and participate, but you're still getting your theme park news, but just in this new medium that I don't think I really expected, but it's just a lot of fun, and I love the podcast for that. Now, while we're on the topic, I will also say that some of my other favorite podcasts include DISLEXIC, which is made by my friend Scott, and I have been featured on a few episodes there as well. In the Loop podcast is really good. Coaster Radio, Gaze Do the D. And as far as non-theme park podcasts go, I'm really into Pantsuit Politics. I would highly recommend that you check them out as well. Moving on, we have a question from Victoria, who you can find on Twitter as @HeCallsMePeePee. PP stands for Pineapple Princess, guys. Come on, get your head out of the gutter. Anyways, she asked, how has the growth of it affected your life in a positive manner? I'm guessing it refers to the channel. Ooh, okay, so this is a good question. Deep, too. Ooh. Honestly, I think the biggest positive impact that doing the channel has made on my life is just all the cool people that I get to meet. I mean, I already talked about meeting people through podcasts, but also just through social media and by talking to people in the comments. I've been able to connect with some really awesome people in the community, and that has been just really, really rewarding. Also, the whole process of making videos has had a big impact on a lot of my professional skills too. I mean, I gotta do research, I gotta write everything down, and then I gotta find ways to communicate them in a way that is both effective and engaging. I mean, you guys don't wanna watch a video where I'm just sitting here like, and this park got a new roller coaster, and it was really tall and really fun. No, you don't wanna watch that. I gotta make it fun, I gotta grab your attention. So, yeah, just doing the channel has really helped me with my communication skills and also with some of my technical skills with editing. But I think overall, just the fact that I get to have fun with it. This is something that I look forward to doing. I always have fun making the videos. Usually, sometimes it stresses me out, if I'm being completely honest. There are road bumps along the way once in a while, but once I get that final product out there and I can see people just enjoying my content, that's why I do it. It's so much fun. Alright, so Scott, who I mentioned earlier, also known as DISLEXIC, who you can find on Twitter as @ScottR021, asks, what has been your favorite series on the channel to make? Ooh, so I have a couple good ones. Obviously my theme park parlay series has gained a lot of relevance and significance on the channel, and I love talking about theme parks, so that's obviously a fun one to do all the time. But in terms of my actual travel series, I think I'm gonna have to go with my Tobermory vlogs that I did back just this past September. That was just so much fun. I mean, the trip in itself was absolutely amazing, and it was my first trip that I did with Michael, so it was our first couple trip, and to then go back and to relive that by making the vlogs, and yeah, it was just great. Plus I added a lot of cinematic value to those videos, so I'm really, really quite proud of them. Okay, our next set of questions, because there's a few here, come from Minori. You can find on Twitter as @MinnoMinori. The first question they ask is, what's your favorite adventure that wasn't at a theme park? Okay, well, outside of things that I've done for adventures with Parker, I would have to say my trip to Paris. That took place back in 2015. Yeah, I think it was just before my senior year of high school, and obviously this was before the channel existed, which is why there's no vlog for it, but it was just so fun. I got to do 3 days in Paris, and I got to do things like the Louvre, I got to see the Eiffel Tower, walk around some of the neighborhoods, went to see Notre Dame, like all of the Paris-y things that you'd want to do in Paris. Yeah, I did that. For the last 4 days of the trip, we took a train down to the southern region of France, so like the Riviera. So we visited Avignon, where they had a theater festival, Arles, which has some old Roman architecture, including like a gladiator show and a Colosseum. We popped into Monaco, and then on our last day of the trip, I went to Nice, where I got to do some parasailing in the Mediterranean, and oh, it was just so much fun. So I really loved that trip. As far as things that I've actually done for the channel, probably my Punta Cana trip. That was super fun. That was my trip that I did with my best friend Victoria. We had been planning on doing a trip together all through high school, and it was great that we finally got to bring that trip to life, and we got to do it, and it was just, it was fun. We got to hang out at the beach. We got to hang out at the water park there, which was awesome. The one day we did our excursion, we did scuba diving and snorkeling and all of the restaurants we got to eat at. It was a great trip, and if you'd like to learn more, click this card and watch all the videos in that playlist. It was just such a great time. And the second question Minori asks is, also, we know the park plans, what else is on your travel bucket list? Okay, so I actually have an entire video in the works where I am going to answer that question. But for now, I will give a little sneak peek. The one thing, if I had to choose one thing that I want to do, it's go to BC and kayak with orcas. So there's this organization where you pack up all your stuff on a kayak and you spend a week just paddling up the coast, and then all the while you're in orca territory. So there's orcas all around you, and you get to see them, and you get to get really, really close to them, and I just think that would be so much fun. Okay, we have one more question. We're jumping back on over to Instagram for this one. This is another question from CatCatK, and this time she asks, if you could change one thing about Canada's Wonderland, what would it be? Ooh, okay. One thing that I could change. Okay, I think I would really love to see a highly immersive coaster. Or at least something that's a little more story driven. I mean, we're getting there, like with Yukon Striker, we have more theming, and we just have an atmosphere in that whole area of the park that's really nice, but I want Wonderland to take it to the next level and actually tell a full, complete story with one of their coasters. I mean, obviously they're a regional park. We're not talking about Disney or Universal level budgets here, but parks can get creative, and I'd love to see Wonderland try something like that. I cannot thank you enough for all the encouragement and support that you've given me over these past 4 years. I would not be here without you, so thank you so much. Now, if this happens to be your first Adventures with Parker video, well, first of all, thanks for watching all the way through. I really appreciate that. But please feel free to subscribe for more adventures about theme parks, travel, local attractions, and the outdoors. I have lots of cool things planned for this season that you do not want to miss. Additionally, you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at ADBParker. Instagram and Twitter are where all of these questions came from. So if you want to participate in something like this in the future, that's where you need to be. Anyways, that's all from me. Thank you so much once again, just for everything. And remember that the adventures are calling. See ya!